Hello, how's it going? Oh, panic god, I wish. I could do with some dessert right now. How's everyone's weeks going so far? How'd everyone's weeks go, I guess? It's Monday. I'm throwing off a bit. I have a little bit of news, a little bit of updates, some fun stuff been happening. And so I may have done like impulse purchases today, but just for like to make things a lot easier in the future. No. I wish and I don't. I don't know how I'd feel about that if I'm being completely honest. Okay. I think everything's set up. I'm just gonna jump straight into hunting while I kind of try and explain attempt in some way, shape or form. Switch is not on. So it is many purchases, I will say that. Many small bits. Load game up. It would help if my camera was on that. Part of the struggle of what I'm doing right now. There we go. Alright, and let's just take that off there. Oh, no. I was so close. It was between those purchases I sent and what I eventually ended up buying. Just trying to... I'm happy I've done the purchase considering how rough this is. Okay, so also just to catch up, I have caught a few Squirtle. Is this just letting this connect in? So before I get on with the hunts and show you the other stuff I've been doing, basically I was looking through building stuff today and I was like, my computer is on the verge of dying. So I just bit the bullet, got a PC part picker, selected a load of parts that I wanted and made sure they all work together. And that is coming, I think the last part comes 2nd of Feb. So I pretty much got everything for a new PC. That should make streams better, video editing a lot easier, and I can just do more stuff properly again. Without my computer being on like the verge of death. The fact that it was just dead. It's like, it was just way higher in milliseconds. It's been an absolute pain. It actually struggles loading a YouTube video when it's like auto selecting the resolution. That's why I was like, I just need to push this right up the list. So that's coming. Also, between streams, I've been busy. If you've seen the Discord, you know what I've been up to. But pretty much it was... Where's the first one? So, yeah, it was a need. Also, I can do more games and stuff on stream with a more powerful computer. Where is this shiny? Is it gone up yet? Oh, I've only got one controller. Okay, I'm just going to go through my boxes. It's going to be easier than actually going through the actual recordings. So, and just quick catch up. So, if we go down here a little bit, there's a few Squirtles. So, caught a few. Got the chain broken first by phasing on a shiny Sphere. Which, thank God for the sparkles, or I wouldn't have been able to tell, especially with how glowy it is. Then, phased again. Yeah, just a few. That is just a few. You'll see. There's a scroll afterwards. Then I got it broken by a Golbat. Then, where is it? Then I got it broken again. And phased on a shiny Venonat. Then, when I was trying to get because getting the combo up for Squirtle is the hardest bit. Getting it up to 11. And then with the lore to get the consistent spawns is the hardest thing. Because I realised up to 10, it only goes up like 1% chance to spawn. Then as soon as it gets past 10, it's a 50% chance. Plus a law pretty much makes it guaranteed to spawn pretty regularly. But while I was getting it back up on a combo of 6, I found a shiny Squirtle. So I was 1 down for the emo, or like the Living Dex, when I'm counting this as like an emo challenge sort of thing. And that was in Seafoam Island. Then I got the chain broken again by another shiny Golbat that spawned. Yeah, it was soon. You'll see why soon. I mean, it's also in the title. So 2 Golbats. So it was pointless me collecting any more Golbats after this point, because I wouldn't be able to get any more for the Dex. So I actually ended up, if I go into my recordings, it's such a dumb recording. But I just saw, you could see the shiny Golbat over there. Did I? So yeah, it's there, but then it gets even more dumb when I find another one. So I think this is the one where I just didn't even bother trying to catch it. I was like, I'm just going to chase it around for a little bit because I don't need it, and it was going to be my 3rd one. And at this point, I did not want to break my chain of shiny Squirtles. So I was just like, I'm just going to enjoy it while it's here. I just kind of let it despawn. Which is something that I didn't think I'd end up doing. But it was worth it because I kept it going. And then also in between this, so I've set it up in the Discord to where if I just want to do stuff mindlessly without like being on camera or talking, whatever, I can just mindlessly play games. And it's there for everyone else if they want to do stuff like that. If you're playing, like, I don't know, randomly Baldur's Gate or something, just because I was talking to that with my brother-in-law when I was saying, oh, I'm thinking of getting a new PC. He's like, you can play Baldur's Gate finally? I'm like, yes, I can. But just any games, you can just throw it up on there if you're just doing stuff aimlessly and you feel like throwing it up. But essentially I did that while I was on with Majora yesterday, and we were just doing some shiny hunting. Got, I think, 150 combo in. And then just before bed, this is also, I threw this in. I decided to do 50 more. And on 197, I got the 2nd Squirtle. Which annoyingly was not during that. It would have been nice, but hey, you win some, you lose some. So 2 Squirtles down. And I think since then I've also done another 100 just while I was chilling after work before. Like, had dinner, relaxed, got some extra. But that's essentially where we're at. Yeah, I haven't dropped any, so potentially it might be yours. But this is essentially going to be the rest of this month. Oh, and also, because I don't think I'm going to do it on stream, I'm just going to keep going with Squirtles while I say this. Oh, right. Odd setup, but cool. Yeah, because I've got computer parts coming in that, I might just throw a camera up and just, if anyone wants to drop in while I'm building my computer, I guess, and just have a chat. That's not on Twitch, because I don't think I can have the stress of having to be talking or whatever while I'm trying to focus on not breaking all the parts I've just bought. But I'm probably going to be doing that on Discord as well. Ooh, and what's this? Oh, wait. Has stuff already been... I'm getting emails. I think stuff's already shipping. Oh, my case is shipping. That's interesting. Yeah, that's essentially been a week. It's doing bits of that and just like really messing around with ideas. I also managed to, when it comes to videos coming up for the channel, which I'm glad the Indigo Disc video was doing as well as it did. Follow up to that. My Mochi Mayhem, my DLC epilogue, whatever we want to call it. Oh, right. Ah, that's actually smart. Yeah. Especially today was weirdly kind of like cathartic because I finished the script for the next video. I'm going to try and record it tonight, and then it's pretty much just on to editing. I just realized how much I hate scripting to other people's stories. Because you'd think it'd be easy, but there's part of my brain that goes, I don't want to just rewrite someone else's story. I want to put the twist and make it my own, which is why the Teal Mask and Indigo Disc came out the way they did. I tried to put my own little spin on it. But it's trying to keep close enough to their story while twisting it, where when I just get to script my own challenge videos, I basically give myself bullet points of like key moments, and I can write around them whatever way I want. I've kind of... Oh. Sorry, shook my controller. I get to write around them whatever way I want, and it's almost like there's still some restriction in there writing-wise, but it's a bit more free. When I'm writing to story, I've got to stick a little bit closer, so it just takes a lot longer, because I'm essentially... Especially the way I writ this one was I had my VOD open, just going to like key moments, and it's a lot of going, is this moment important to keep in? Is it not? Am I getting too much into the detail? Can I skip over this big section so people don't have to watch it, because it's a lot of the same? And half of the decisions are, will this tie into a joke? Can I make a joke for this? And they're the moments that actually stop me a lot. I realised while I was writing, is going, this is a key moment, but it's not super interesting at the same time. It's like, how can I make this an interesting moment with some form of joke or whatever? Which definitely towards the end, I'm going to be doing a lot more like text box trickery, like I did. Like I had fun with in the Indigo Disc video. Just making people say whatever I want them to. What was... I think it was Kylie Minogue. I made Kieran quote, which was the one that just made me laugh. The two moments while I was editing that made me laugh the most in that video, which I might do like a breakdown at some point. Of like, did you notice this sort of thing? But it was just Kieran quoting Kylie Minogue and the stupid pop sound for the crystals disappearing towards the end of the story when they're going into the depths. It was definitely one of those, it was too late at night at that moment. Like, must have been 4 in the morning. I just put the pop sound in and maybe laughed to myself for 5 minutes when it timed up perfectly and sounded so dumb. There's been two things that make me like, kind of want to go over the videos on stream. One was actually... I've thought about doing it for a bit, and I think I've mentioned it before. Was watching an Absol blog stream, and he was going over like his movies after... Or like one of his old videos. And decompiling it, going over it for people. Then there was... I think it was Asteroid. If you've heard of him, a PokeTuber. Sitting there with his edit open going, look at all these things that I did. Let's go over it. And again, just like, did you notice I did this? Or I like the way I did this. Or this is why I did this. And just kind of going through his thought process. And then, as is always, got a comment that was just someone kind of going off. And I knew they were just having a bad day sort of thing. Because I've realised I can do a test with comments. If it's just someone going off for no reason and a lot of assumptions, what you can do is very quickly like and unlike the comment, so they get the notification and they know you've seen it. And if they're adamant, they'll just leave it there. But if it's one of those like spur of the moment, they haven't thought, they just were having a bad day and needed to vent somewhere, they then will delete it. But I've actually, funnily enough, got the comment saved because I had a response, like, queued up. Because I was kind of like... I always try and be reasonable and try and sway people round to... sort of be like, is this an actual thought? Or, like, is this something that I need to take on board? Or are you just being irrational? Let's see if I can find it, actually. Let's see. File. It'd be in, like, screenshots. Where is my screenshot? Images? Maybe? I don't think I'll have deleted it. Oh, nope. So there we go. After I capture this. Essentially it was saying, ever notice how these Living Dex challenges just happen to have every event mythical? And you went through the effort of getting every hat Pikachu and then just forgot, basically, like, I just forgot how you got them sort of thing. Ever think your viewers might relate to you more if you just told the truth? Yeah, it is a way to diffuse it. But I was just like, one, you don't see a lot of videos where they don't collect every Pokemon because that doesn't make for a good video. That's why you see a lot where people have everyone, every Pokemon. And also, the second part of my response to it before I just couldn't respond. Because by the time I went to hit send, he'd already deleted it, or they'd already deleted it, I'm not going to assume. Was, it would be more disingenuous if I was to make up a more believable lie than I forgot how I got them. Because at the end of the day, that is the truth. I looked up a couple of the events because I didn't know which one it was. Because there were 2 events for those Ash Hat Pikachus. I was like, that was like, what? Coming up 10 years ago? How am I supposed to remember if it was that or the one afterwards? Like, I've been playing this game my whole life. Like, I'm just being honest if I say I forget. Rather than try and take a stab in the dark and guess what event it did. Yeah, it's too long and I don't like to think about it sometimes how long it's been. I actually don't think Mama's Sun and Moon, unless I did both of them, I want to say it was like a Sword and Shield event. I think I might have done both, but I probably just took all the ones from Sword and Shield, I think. Which I can actually check now. I can see where they originate from. Because I didn't transfer up a ton of Pokemon from the DS cartridges. Mainly because I like them staying on there. Yeah, I think that's where the original ones were from. I'm just going to load up home now and see. See where the origin mark is. Okay, it's... And thankfully, because they're a Pikachu form, they're right at the top. Ash... Oh, wait. Just make sure I can catch this. Oh, and right before stream, I almost lost this catch combo, by the way. I'm up to 350. Like, over 350 now, obviously. But I was this close to losing the catch combo. I was like, I can't do that right before stream. I don't want to start the stream of having to get another catch combo of 11. Oh, it's because it's right into the mic. Yep. Just pointed directly down the way I'm holding it. Oh yeah, they've got a Sword and Shield mark on them. So they're the Sword and Shield event. God, my team's in the 90s. I was looking at, realizing like, oh, where are all the other Pokemon that I was leveling up? I started on the opposite game than I was using for the other shinies because I was using Eevee for it. But because I got 2 completed saves with the Dexes, I just started with Pikachu instead. Which I guess just to mix it up. One thing I'm looking forward to actually, because I'll have the new computer for Safari Week this year. I could do 2 switches last year. I don't know what broke. Well, I know my computer generally has broke in between. Cheers for the look. I know my computer's generally gotten worse between the start of last year and the start of this year. Oh, 365. The amount of days in a year. Perfect. But I'll be able to do 2 capture cards again, thankfully. So I'll be able to hunt in 2 games. Potentially a 3rd because I might have my DS going. If I can actually find time to finish Diamond. And maybe even find more shinies in that. Because I'll be able to do Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl on 2 switches. And then in Diamond and Pearl, be able to do... Yeah, if you actually go back in the VODs, that's what I did. It's just annoying that it doesn't work now. Like, there's something in my USB drivers or controllers died along the way. But I'll be able to do that. Maybe even get my DS involved. If I want to go rooting through in my mum and dad's, I can maybe even break out Leaf Green on my SP. Depends how productive I want to be. The timing on this is terrible. I'm just going to wait for it. It's just perfectly timed to constantly knock the ball back. No worries. Let's use this break to have a little bit of a coffee. I want to just notice I'm up to 90 followers. See if I can eventually hit 100 on this slow burn of a Twitch channel. I'm curious because I've been having good luck with shinies in Let's Go. Am I going to get one today? Considering I've had one on a combo of 6, then just under 200, and I'm going to come just under 400 at some point. Not even towards the end of the stream, I don't think. Yeah, because I'm at 368 now. Am I going to get one this stream? Because it will mean that I can start with ones like Venonat. Because I think... Yeah, so 2 Golbats, which will mean I can do 1 to a Crobat. Then I've got a Venonat. So to complete the line, I need another Venonat to get a Venomoth. And then I've got a Seal, so I can get a Seal or a Dugong to complete the line. So essentially, for this shiny short, once I get the Bulbasaur one out the way, so Jesus. For the shiny short, I'll have 3 extra Pokemon to complete in lines. If I want to be like, I faced on this, I also did this line. I faced on this, and I also did this line. And depending on how the Bulbasaur short goes, I might do it Pokerap style. Depending on what I land on. Like, Pokerap-ish. It will be musical. It will condense them all into one. Because that's the only way I could think. Because I did so many shinies, like phasing on Bulbasaur. Especially because a lot of them are like lines of 3. So just for that short, I think it is Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, Caterpie, Metapod, Butterfree, Weedle, Kakuna, and Beedrill. So that is 12 Pokemon to try and cover in a minute or less. So hopefully the musical wrap-up version does it neatly, because that is what I'll end up having to do for Squirtle as well, considering I've phased on enough that I'm going to have to cover them in the short. Also, it means the shorts are just a bit more interesting. Just, hey, I caught this Pokemon. Because a Mankey one I think is interesting because it's... I caught 3 Mankey in Let's Go. Evolved 1 to Primeape in Let's Go. Then had to take 1 all the way up to Scarlet and Violet to get Annihilape. That's interesting. The Gimme Goal one was just to see if I put like giveaway in the friggin' title, would people click on it? It's really just a kind of test. I'm just trying to short motor soak Gym Shiny Hunt. Oh, I know what one you might be going for. Just someone else going live doing hunts. Yeah, and then what other ones have we got? I did the Wooloo, but that was to start off the decks. There's going to be the Archaladon line. Duraludon, Archaladon. I did think I had Miltank, but Miltank isn't in Gen 2, so that's not going to be for my Shiny Dex. That's just one in there. The Lechonk line is going to be one. Because I've got that from the camping video. So I've got to do the Lechonk line because that's 3 of them. And I can just kind of tie that back to the video to make it a bit more interesting. Because a lot of the challenge for the Shiny Shorts really is trying to make it more than just, hey, I caught this. I added to my Dex. Number go up. Like, how can I spin an interesting story and still have it end up at that? Like, how do we get to the satisfying sound and number go up in an interesting way? Here's me catching. Here is collection animation. Because I could do that. And it would... Okay, I'm off time. Just gonna do it quick. And that was an excellent. That was actually a really good one. Because I want to keep it interesting for me. Otherwise, if it's so formulaic, I could get them done really quick. But it wouldn't be interesting. And if you tried to binge them, it wouldn't be interesting either. Like if you had them all in a playlist and it was just like, I caught this, ping, number. I caught this, ping, number. Like, my goal would be, eventually, you could watch them all in order. As if they were like my Living Dex video. Like they all have their own little stories to them as well. Which also, I'm going to need some names. I realised. Because I was catching the Squirtles. I was like, what do I name? I was like, I don't actually know. But I guess when I get the last of a line, I'll ask for names for the whole line. So, essentially, it is... If a Venonat pops up, I might even skip it for the sake of I don't want to just restart the Squirtle grind. Because it takes at least like half an hour to restart it. So I might skip a Venonat if it pops up. I've already got the Pidgey line. It's fine. Honestly, I think I'd skip anything at this point. Hopefully I get a Squirtle before I have to skip any. But I've already, like I said, I've already got all the Pidgeys and that line. So I'd happily skip them. Venonat, I'd skip just because it's common. And I could power through getting that started really quickly. Psyduck would hurt a little. But I'd have to do it. Anything else that spawns here? Maybe? No, I think other than that, I'd actually be safe. And the fact that I'm getting them constantly spawning. Like, I'm surprised. Like, not surprised when I was starting the hunts to phase as much as they did. But once the hunts got going, I really didn't phase all that much. Because Squirtle spawns so regularly. Which, just for tips, if you're looking to hunt a Squirtle in these games, which now the Indigo Disc's out, unless you're going for Origins, I don't know why you would hunt any of the starters in this. But the best way I found to do it was basically go into Seafoam Cave. Because it seems there's just more space for it to spawn. I just turned the background music off. I was like writing scripts and whatever. And if a rare Pokemon spawns, it'll always do its cry. Which originally you'll get... when you first start doing it, Seal and Dugong will sound a little bit like Squirtle until you get a little used to it. It doesn't take all that long. It's a higher pitch that you just have to realise. But when you hear that, you can then look back down at your game, go find where Squirtle's spawned, and then just go put yourself in a safe place where generally you won't get touched. So that's a good AFK way to do it. Get yourself up to 11 and then just do what I'm doing now and just sit yourself in this part of Route 24. And they just consistently spawned. I need to run to them because I find this place for them spawning consistently is better than the ledge, because you got to run all the way around to the ledge, and if you're below the ledge, then Pidgeys can still fly over it and go into you, and that gets really annoying. Pidgeys are annoying as is now for running into you, and you still got to kind of be a little active. Oh, let's try and get something. Yep, there we go. Great. Yeah, you still got to kind of be a little active in dodging Pidgeys and Venonats and everything. But while you're in Seafoam Cave, if you're trying to do this, Golbat's massive hitbox, Dugong, there's just Slowbro, all the evolved Pokemon with the huge hitboxes, and you're trying to walk around them and hope for the best. At least for this, you can generally just leave yourself in the corner, give it the max amount of spawning spaces down there, and you can see the whole strip of where they can spawn. There is a little bit of paranoia of, like, I can see a Charizard shadow up there, so if I really wanted to I could just hop on Charizard, but that would then mean more spawns. Oh, that was a Charizard and a Dragonite, which is why generally it's better if you want to do it just to stay on the ground as well. You'll notice doing this, it will also, well, it should do at least. Usually there's water spawns that happen as well, but generally just a bit more efficient to stay on the ground. Which I am curious, because as much as I roughly knew what I wanted to do for Squirtle while hunting it, I'm not sure what I'm going to do for Charmander, because I know Charmander is a cave spawn, but it's also not a super common spawn. Like, I might do something similar to this just so I'm not facing, because I know a load of people will do it to where they just buy a ladder or something and then despawn. But I know me, and I'd end up going up the ladder and despawning. I was doing it like ladder spawn and Squirtle to try and just spam through to get spawns to start the chain. And I despawned a good few Squirtles. I actually, annoyingly enough, despawned a shiny seal. Otherwise I would have completed the line. Oh no, not a shiny Seal. Seal. It was a shiny Slowpoke, which would have started another line. Which actually, in hindsight, kind of, it's annoying. But thankfully, when I finish this, it won't be another line that I've got to collect. But there was a Slowpoke at the top of some stairs, which I was going up, going down. No, this is what I mean by big hitboxes. They get annoying. I was just going up, going down. And as I went down, I just saw the Slowpoke spawn and the sparkles. I think I might still have it recorded, because it was that painful. Will it be? That was a Squirtle. So would it be after that? That's a Golbat. Golbat. That was when I was just waiting, I think, for them to despawn. And then I go up. And as I go to go down, that Slowpoke just there, shiny, despawned it. That's why I hate ladder respawns. I could have had a Slowpoke. But it also didn't break the chain. So that was after the second one, but also I wouldn't be on the chain I'm on now. So you win some, you lose some. And the longer you do a chain as well, the easier it is to catch him. Like, you'll notice he's on a green circle for catching. Basically, the more you catch, the easier it is to catch them, because I think the logic is you learn how to throw it and how they act and whatever. Like, you put effort into catching more of them, they're easier to catch. So, especially for me, yeah, it's just a skill. If I've got the energy, it's learn. But yeah, the fact that I've been able to just keep catching more Squirtles and they get easier means I'm less stressed when a Squirtle now pops up, because I know pretty much I can catch in a Pokeball. No stress. To be fair, I need to... Actually, no, I don't need to pack my bag because I haven't unpacked it. What I have done... Actually, I can go through this because this is one of the things why I started doing the... Or came up with the idea of doing Discord streams and whatever. It's because I got a little... tiny little dock the size of a plug. Tiny little switch dock. Which essentially means wherever I am, I don't have to carry a full-size switch dock with me. Which also means in a little bag that and I wave my controller around. In a little bag that my brother got me for Christmas, which is like a little cable tidy carry bag thing. I've now got what is essentially a very tiny capture setup. Which, because it's also got like my hard drive that I use to like edit my video projects on. I might have to go get it. Or actually, if you look up like the Genki mini dock, it is essentially just a plug with a HDMI and a USB-C. So, because you need the HDMI into a capture card, all I need is that plug. Also, it charges it so I don't have to worry about my Switch dying. But, in essence, all I do to then record and send to my laptop and whatever is, well, plug that dock in, send it into my laptop, and it is a very compact setup. So if I can't do full-on streams, if I'm ever like... I'm trying to think what the... So let's say in March-ish, I'm planning on going down to see my friend in Bristol. I'm going to be there on a Sunday. I'm probably going to take like a long weekend. So I won't be able to do full-on streams there. But I could still potentially, internet permitting, obviously, just stream from my laptop to like Discord or wherever, and you can still like just see what I'm doing. Chill for a couple hours while I'm like, before I go to bed or whatever, because he'd be in like work on Mondays and whatever. Because there's one thing that I've been planning for a bit. It's just the most minimal recording setup I can have. Which also, just by how it functions, is the most minimal streaming setup I can have. No, it's still Thursday and Sundays. I just will... Like, it was a lot of messing with tech and that to get that to work. Essentially just downloading a load of drivers, making sure stuff worked. And I didn't want to do that today after work because I wouldn't have had, like, the mental capacity. So I thought, I'll do that yesterday, make sure it worked. And I did stream on there for a few hours, getting encounters in. They're just... Me and Majora just chilling, shiny hunting for a bit. I don't know what he's going for in Scarlet. But I just had, like... a stream up on the side while I was doing like my Squirtle encounters. And it was relaxed. And then if anyone wants to pop in, you can see who's streaming, like whenever. And then the chat and that pretty much is there. Yeah, just like back and forth. There was a moment when I just saw Majora go into the menu and invert the colours. I was like, I'm not even gonna ask what's going on. just kind of left him to it. But it just means stuff that I'd be doing anyway by myself, I can still do it in a relaxing, chill way, because sometimes you need like those no effort days of just mindlessly doing something. So it's nice just to play the game and not have to worry about talking and anything. Because it does take a lot out of me doing it, because the only reason I actually do this is to force myself to kind of essentially learn the skill of doing it. Like, the more I do it, the better I am at doing it, essentially. Practice makes perfect. Yeah. At least that's... I think he's mentioned having a capture card before. I think he's got the same ones as me. The Elgato 60... HD60S? Because I think it was streaming his Elgato window. I think I saw. Because I think that's why he was saying around Christmas about, like, his hunting shinies for a month video challenge thing. Which I think he's dropped for the minute. Which, while he's got school and everything going on, I don't blame him. There's a reason I did not do YouTube and that through school. Yeah, it was weird, like... Especially, I can remember the capture card. I was like, oh, if you're going to get a capture card, there's only one capture card you get. Now you can get a couple and it's fine. It's usually still like an Elgato HD something. But back in the day when someone had a Hauppauge HD PVR, like, that name is ingrained into my psyche, because that was all like the Call of Duty gameplay people. That's what they had. That's how they recorded the montages. And I think one of my friends had one back then. I might still have it. Yeah, that's what I think it'd be nice, like, especially because I want to try and start that people can just jump in if they want to just, like, share the gameplay and just have a chat while they're playing games. Do this without the talking bit. Because just being in text chat is a lot more relaxed. And then maybe even, like, if it ends up jumping into other games, like, I think Majora wanted to jump in doing Smash, but at that point it was like 11 for me. And I wanted to get a fair bit more of the script done before I went to bed. Because that also meant that I could get the script done in work. But if it's just like, we've got nothing to do. No, I mean, we could have, but we were just in voice chat, just relaxed. Like, I can definitely jump onto voice chat if I wanted to, because it's a voice chat channel, because that's how I set it up. And it's making me think, like, do I want to purchase Nitro just to be able to, like, boost the server so people can stream in a higher quality or whatever? Maybe. I'll see how much that kind of gets used. But I just like the vibe we had going on. And I know we all don't have, like, capture cards. Like, me, you... I think it's actually all of us, bar Stitch, have capture cards. I'm thinking about it now. Which I noticed the other day, and again, it's one of those, like, Stitch goes missing for a bit, and I don't know what goes on with him. He's now down as deleted users in my messages. So I said he was going to disappear for a little bit. We just, like, have the anticipation for when he comes back and the story he's going to come back with. Maybe they're going to come back with. Maybe that's a whole thing. You never know. Fingers crossed. I know there was a load of stuff he was saying was going to go on this month, which is, he just dropped me a message before. He was like, I'm going to drop off for a little bit. Don't worry. Just going to disappear for like a month. Like, no worries, get better. We're not going to go anywhere, hopefully. I only disappeared, thankfully, I only disappeared around Christmas, New Year-ish for a week. And then also finishing off the Indigo Disc video, I disappeared for a week. Ah, the secret group chat. I always forget you have that. Just the severe FOMO of me not being in that chat. Like I actually care. It's fun to act like I care. I really probably should care a bit more than I do, but, you know. Why change now? 27 years, that's a lot of time to make change. If I haven't made it by now, it's not happening. Oh, also, one thing I was enlightened to that I need to look at by my brother-in-law, which might be a, hey, new computer, we're going to test this out sort of thing. Everyone is raving. Oh, that was a terrible throw. Everyone is raving about PaneyeRewind right now. Which, I know it's been shortened to Pokemon with guns. But my brother-in-law was going through all the extra systems and everything. And it sounds so interesting. I know it's in early access and I'm against that sort of thing. But, oh, he was saying, basically, one of them looks exactly like Nickit. But it's like a little Firefox, so Nickit, but Vulpix colours. And you can pick it up in like a little holster, have it under your arm, and make it a flamethrower. And just Pokemon have the utility sort of thing. Which has just made me go, when all my parts come in. Also, it's going to be payday for me. So I'm probably going to pick up a couple games that I want to play. Yeah, he said the battling system isn't as in depth. But it's basically a bit of like Pokemon monster collecting type gameplay. With some base building aspects as well. Which just sounds like my heaven. I'd maybe take out some of like the gun aspects because I think they're just put in there for shock value. You could thematically tie in some of the creatures maybe a bit better. But it's definitely a game that I'm going to give a go. Maybe like for a stream. Whether I end up playing more of it, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll just pivot heavily and no longer doing like Pokemon on YouTube. It is now just... Wait, what's this? Oh. Speaking of that, I'm seeing people I watch go live playing PaneyeRewind now. I just pivot heavily to PaneyeRewind. That's the only thing I focus on. From now on, I only play early access games. It's only Ark Survival Evolved, which I think is now out of early access. What's the one I'm thinking of? Satisfactory, which is definitely one I'm picking up. I've wanted to play that for so long. PaneyeRewind, Satisfactory, Ark. Subnautica, I think is... Or Subnautica 2 is early access, which actually looks interesting. Yeah. For sure. I think... It seems like they've been smart enough to skate the lines. But there's no doubt that because people have been calling it Pokemon with guns, Nintendo are definitely, in some way, shape or form, going to try and go after them. Whether they've actually got a leg to stand on or not, I don't know. Some of the designs I've seen seem very similar to Pokemon. Like, my brother-in-law was describing to me, it looks exactly like Nickit. Just with Vulpix colours. But if something's that close, they might have ground. So they're like, alright, cease and desist time. Considering they've done it, like, not even with commercial release, like, just with ROM hacks. Because I think it was the ROM hack with nuclear Pokemon. That everyone's like, this is the best ROM hack I think anyone's made in years. I think it was just called Pokemon Nuclear. But then they got it taken down. Which obviously it's the internet, nothing ever fully disappears. Yeah. It is. Oh, Pokemon Uranium. That was the one I was thinking of. The ROM hack one. Yeah, I think unanimously people decided that was the best ROM hack. That it's now like clickbait in titles. It's like, I played the banned Pokemon ROM hack. Sort of thing. It's honestly, if you go back and actually look at it now as well, it is actually like still pretty good. Yeah, it's still super good. Because there's one thing I've realized, and it definitely depends how you play it as well. Yeah, it's the reason I clicked on it originally. Went, oh, it has actually entered its title. But even just when I've been going back and playing through Diamond, yes, it's a slow game and it has its issues. But the fact that I'm playing it on my DSi instead of my 3DS, the screen on the 3DS and just the overall experience is so good. Oh, screen on, did I say the 3DS or DSi? The screen and the experience on the DSi is so good compared to 3DS. One, because the 3DS also has the 3D screen that kind of ruins it a bit. But it's just so clear and crisp. And just the form factor is so nice. Yeah, like just proper handhelds, like actually picking it up again. I get why people love like their analog pockets and stuff like that now, and they go back and mod their old Game Boy Advances with like new IPS screens and speakers and everything. Like, I understood it the moment I turned them on, especially when I put them side by side, because I can have like, let's say I have like the closest comparison because I've only got 2 Gen 4 games. I have been really tempted to get more because Platinum is now at like 78, which is way down. So I was like, oh, I could get Platinum. But I basically, to do a direct comparison, took my copy of Diamond, got it to a very similar place to where I could get my Heart Gold save to as well. And there's just no competition. The DSi is just clearly better than the 3DS, even though the 3DS is technically stronger hardware. Yeah, it's another thing that I actually want to get this year at some point, is actually decide what DS console I want to mod and basically put a capture card in it. Which at this point is like, you might think, oh, just go for the 3DS. The more powerful one, you can play more games. But I'm between that and actually the original fat 3DS. Because my logic... yeah. No one likes the 2DS. Even the new 2DS XL, I think it was. So many people have just said, like, you pick it up and yes, it's essentially a 3DS without the 3D. But it just feels cheap. And I'm not touching the normal 2DS with a barge pole. Although apparently you can get those with a capture card in. Those and the new 2DS XLs. But they've been 50-50s. But my logic between whether I want to get a new 3DS with the capture card or the original fat DS, as they called it. I mean, I'm only saying this from never owned one, only ever heard people talk about them. And it might just be... So, this is another point. It might just be from elitism and collectors be like, compared to those, it just feels cheap. It's not a new 3DS XL, but like, they might have metal plates or something that makes it feel more premium. I don't know. But this was actually a point I realized when one of my friends was telling me about, what show was it? It's just probably like made more of plastic than like bits of metals and that. I don't know. It might have like stripped down hardware. I'd just be like pulling things out of thin air to try and logic it out. Oh, I know what series it was. So it was on Disney Plus because they released Echo. And it's like, oh, Echo's just really not great. Like, you don't need to watch it. They really ruined Kingpin, blah, blah, blah. So I just let him go on about that. I was like, I kind of trust your opinion, but also I know at some point it does come from... Oh, well, I've got... Nah, of all the candies. It does come from a point of, like, elitism and just wanting the most refined show out of your superhero flicks. What? You know you're not getting it. It's unrealistic to expect it at this point. You know what you're getting in for. Don't expect anything more. So, kind of out of that logic, in my brain, I went, as much as I know we have similar-ish opinions, because you've had such a negative review on it, I'm gonna go and watch it. So, pretty much, after I caught up with them, the next day in work, I was like, okay, I've got the perfect workload to where... Sorry, excuse me. I can just shove a series on in the background, watch it while I'm doing like graphics or whatever, and then if the story picks up, I can just like dart my eyes back and forth. Split concentration, it's fine. And I'll admit, wasn't a great series, but also wasn't terrible like it tried to make out. Which comes back to a point of like, people go in expecting too much out of those series at this point. It's just unrealistic. Go in expecting an easy to digest story, nothing too complicated. It's just a shut your mind off and enjoy sort of show. Because I don't need to go in and have it like Daredevil and have like interweaving plots and intrigue and whatever. Things that connect like 3 series later. I think the way I watched it was actually perfect for it as well, because I couldn't pay too much attention to it, and it didn't need too much of my attention. It's the equivalent of kind of how I enjoy shiny hunting. Sometimes, like, I'll put on like YouTube videos that I want to watch and shiny hunt in the background. Like, it doesn't need too much of my attention, but when something good happens, it gets all my attention. It's very sporadic, one of your focus. Because sometimes you just need that, especially when I, for sure, need some moments to shut off and just not think. Need those times to not try and like min-max life, essentially. If I'm being like a little oversharey, I definitely noticed the end of last year, start of this year, of just kind of like min-max, try and be too efficient, get too much stuff done, burn out sort of thing. So it's just kind of being like actively looking for those times to just shut off and do nothing. Not try and focus on doing stuff. If I need breaks, actively taking the breaks. Which is actually going to be nice for getting through shows, because like I am sure I've said this before. For someone who did basically a film adjacent degree. I did edit and post-production, which hopefully comes across in the stuff I make. I was the worst film student. Like, I only saw stuff that people dragged me to the cinema to go see. Other than one that I randomly took myself. No worries. I'm just kind of passively, like, therapizing myself anyway. But yeah, I was the worst film student. Other than... So, the only film I didn't get dragged to see that I actually really enjoyed. Again, it was kind of like luck of how and where I watched it. Was, I want to say, my second, maybe third year of uni. When A Quiet Place, the first one, released. But I didn't go watch it anywhere near release. I watched it kind of middle of the day. I had something rendering for a uni project. 20 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna let it get to an hour 5 and we'll count 20 from there. Because I think we're getting there. 197 was the longest combo I've had for one. And we're over that. So we must be getting close. But yeah. Back to A Quiet Place. It was after release. Middle of the day. Something was rendering while I was... feeling it in my bones. Something was rendering while I was in like my uni flat. And my uni flat wasn't far from like an Odeon. And I happened to have a Limitless card at the time. For a second I thought I saw that with a green gel. So I thought, you know what? I just book it. Go see it. People have been saying it was really good. So, went to see it. There was maybe 3 people at most in that screen while I was watching it. So it was dead silent most of the time. No one was saying anything. No like reactions. We were all spread out far enough around the cinema that it felt like it was just me in the cinema on my own. And maybe the best way I could have experienced that film. Never went to see A Quiet Place 2 or anything because I feel like it'd just be ruined. And I can't remember why I got into that story. I just had a really good time going to see that film on like a whim. The only other times that I did that while I had like stuff rendering for uni, I must have went to see Deadpool about 3 times in cinema before it went off. Mainly because there was nothing else around that time that I actually wanted to go see. Yeah. Oh, like usually I have like that good like cognitive dissonance from a film where I could be like, it's just actors doing stuff. But that scene. Hey, how's it going, Pascal? Long time no see. How's life been treating you? Yeah, that scene with the nail that made me physically go like, ooh. And it's because they built up the stakes for it as well. Like, you know the amount of pain that is and the amount she had to hold it in because otherwise it would have been worse pains. Life's not exactly giving lemons. But it's getting better. Like, computer's gotten worse, but I've just bought all like my computer parts today. So hopefully I can stream a lot easier, do more stuff on stream. Hopefully actually do better ideas. So yeah, I get to look forward to that in like the next couple of weeks. Oh, also, this is, I reminded myself from, I was realized we passed 420. Let's go. There was one idea, if you remember when I was doing my 12-hour stream, one of the sections, or like the things I was planning that I had to swap out, was 1 player, 2 games. That is something that I will be able to do with my new computer, because hopefully I should be able to run both my capture cards at once. So I just realized I can actually do that test and see if it works. Because I think you were here for the stream where I set up the little app that would let me do it, essentially on a keyboard shortcut. Yeah, it's because I was actually thinking about this, not since I bought the computer, but more just like, I remembered I set that up and just haven't been able to do it because my capture cards wouldn't run. But it'd be an interesting idea, at least for a video, if I essentially did like 2 core Pokemon games. 2 core series Pokemon games at once. But to directly compare them back to back in a way that I don't think anyone has done. Because people will say, like, oh, I don't like Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet are the worst. What if I just take both of those and try and play through both of them at once and see what one gives me the worst experience? And essentially play through... Yeah, I can't remember when you popped in, but I just remember, like, my brain remembers Chunks, and I remember Pascal specifically. My brain weirdly remembers you as Pedro Pascal. I don't know why. That's like my brain shorthand for you. Also, nice little cheat for me is the fact that I didn't, like, I thought I remembered you. I looked at it, I was like, oh, you are the person, because it didn't say first time chatter for me in the chat. So I was like, oh, you have been here before, I was right. I just get your name wrong on most days. It's never Raymond Smind. It's always Raymond Smind. Well, whatever we can spin it. No one ever gets the proper names. We've learned this. The amount of different pan names I've got. I did Panacotta, the leader of the pantry cult. Sorry, the pantry. Not a cult. Not a cult. PanayeRewind. Which I've been so tempted to rename the Rewind channel that. It is one thing I'm actually maybe planning to do at some point. I just... yeah. Community. The different C word. Not cult. But yeah, once I get the epilogue video out, I'm gonna go back and do a load of like admin stuff. I think I'm gonna take a little break from videos. At least actively working on videos, because I've got a load of stuff recorded. I'm basically... Well, what reminded me of this? Oh, yeah, sorry, the Rewind channel. Because I was looking at the Rewind channel uploading the VOD from a couple of days ago. And realised it doesn't match up with the main channel's one. So if people are like looking for my VODs and see like a different logo with a Rewind thing. Yes, same name. Could be someone different. I don't know. I needed to make them match up. But also I realised all the emotes aren't on Discord. So I then need to like go back and upload all them. Also highlight stuff that's more interesting about Discord and some benefits and things like that. And as I started listing all the stuff that I need to do like admin wise for the channel, like the only thing I've done admin wise recently was go to like SEO tags and stuff like that and descriptions and reword them to try and get back in the algorithm a little bit. But I've got a big old list of admin. Oh yeah, I forgot you have access to that. Especially now that I'm trying to put like extra value into the Discord, I feel like it's good for me to at least note it down below. Yeah, one more member to the community. Which was slowly growing. It's nice to see Phoenix settling in a little bit. Like, we're not super abrasive. Although we did join at like a nice quiet time for us. Because it feels like January has been our quiet month. For better and for worse. Because Stitch clearly has stuff going on. Ruby's got things going on. Like, touch wood, hope all the best for them. But also, it's nice not to jump in while like full gung-ho going mental. Yeah, it is nice to know that we're not like unhinged all the time. We know when to pick our moments. I just know. Hey, nice. Welcome, I guess. You get to enjoy some benefits of when I'm not live on Twitch. Sometimes I'll just be grinding stuff out on Discord and sharing shinies and just have fun. If you have ideas for stuff you might want in there, throw them in. And eventually, somewhere down the line, I've been saying this for so long. I will get because I want to start playing it a lot more, just as a different game to play that isn't Pokemon. I will set up a Minecraft server at some point. Yeah, so that was like, I tried to set up like the event, like a little get together around Christmas. Yeah, the Minecraft one's like somewhere down the line. I really just decided to push it because it's logistically a little bit of a headache to set up. Once it's set up, it'll be fine. But I realized when I was trying to do like everyone getting together around Christmas and that, setting a date for it just seems like it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's a commitment sort of thing. So it seems a bit heavier than just like I would want it to be, just like a relaxed, we just get together, we chill, we play some party games, whatever. So I thought, if I just randomly start playing games while I'm not live or wherever, and then other people can jump in, and then maybe other people start doing the same, we slowly like get used to doing that sort of thing, rather than have it feel like events all the time. I just wanted to feel like friends getting together, playing games. Maybe we do just play Smash or whatever, if someone's just in the mood. Jump on, play some Mario Kart. Well, whatever we're up for. Just, I've realised it's slowly inching those steps towards it, getting everyone kind of used to it, because we say a lot of things that we're not fully ready to jump into. Because it is one of those, it's internet friends, not friends in person. So it does need that extra little bit of like a softer touch. Yeah, I guess. It's just like, I mean, it also plays to my mindset, which is why I'd pop on and just randomly be like grinding out shinies, whatever. Because it comes back to why I actually started streaming in the first place, which is I had all this stuff set up for streaming just because I enjoyed it. Like, enjoyed setting it up, enjoyed playing with it, enjoyed that side of it. And I just got to the point while I was doing my Living Dex that I was like, why don't I just stream it? Because I've kind of got it up doing it for myself. Yeah, just bridge that gap. Because in reality, we don't speak all that much. So it is one of those, like, just take it an inch at a time. But yeah, so what was I talking about? Yeah, the reason I started streaming in the first place. I've got all that stuff set up, and I naturally, like, I'm more inclined to do it because I kind of enjoy it. As much as it does take a lot out of me to do it sometimes, which is why I'll put it off a day. Sometimes I might just be tired and I might not have the energy to jump on stream, and I know there is like an obligation to be a bit entertaining, which is also why I thought, like, it's a means to an end if I have one of those days but I still want to get on and do something and feel like I'm still in a schedule, because schedules are super important to me. I don't feel like you're missing out if I do stuff like that instead. Yeah, like, it's literally only been you guys that I kind of feel like I've bridged that gap with. Yeah, I wish I could just hop on stream and just be like, it's going to be a quiet day. I'm just not really going to talk. But I feel like if I hop on Twitch, I'm going to use the word again. There's an obligation to be entertaining because I feel like I'm putting on a show for people. Like because there is in the background of my mind, it's like growing a following, even if it's not super important to me. It's still a thing that I want to try and do for the long run. Because especially as I've made like more and more videos, done more and more streams, I've just realized it's something that I would love to be in my life at some point. And the more effort I put into it, the more it pays off. The more time I put into it, the more I get back out of it. Whether it's more videos, more views, more subscribers, more monetization. More the money side of it becomes more. And essentially, I'm trying to... So essentially, that's a dangerous part of my own brain. I see like, I want this life sort of thing. So if I put all my time into it, that happens sooner. And I have to temper it because there was definitely the point of the Indigo Disc video losing literal sleep and going into work with no sleep because I was up all night editing that video, trying to get it out at a decent time. I was like, I am going to burn out if I do this for every video moving forward. And the annoying thing with that in particular was the fact that I'd be in my actual job and I'd just be thinking about editing that video and getting it out. Like, I wanted to do that more than my job. Which, when there's something that I want to do more, but it doesn't let me live the life that I want, it gets super frustrating. So I realized, as much as I rarely like kind of enjoy and love doing that, I do need to take a break from it because it's not realistic at the moment to do that. So it's kind of like to stop me getting burnt out, but also stop the frustration of that. Also, I just read your message, like, the little folks. Yeah, we're up to... Can it be in the next 3 minutes? It is one of those things, like... It's also why I said before, after the epilogue video is out... Also, there's not, a time crunch for the epilogue video. Because I was trying to get the Indigo Disc video out for the release of the epilogue, which it seemed to have helped it a little bit. There's not a super time crunch for that, so I can take it a bit more relaxed. But I'm gonna take it a bit easy after the epilogue video. I'm gonna focus a little bit more on short and just kind of have fun playing with what works. Also, just catching the Shiny Dex up. Because I know the channel seemed to be doing well after... Obviously, after the Living Dex video kind of went a bit viral. But I was doing shorts at the same time, and I don't know how much shorts played into that because YouTube is super heavily pushing them. And I have shorts written and planned that I just need to get out. Also, the kind of the nice little wins. It's a minute long of a video. And I have to write maybe 5 or 6 lines of a script. Or now I'm scripting them. Actually, the original shorts, I didn't. I just kind of had bullet points that I wanted to hit. And I do take after take until I liked how I said something. Not the smartest thing I realized for me. Because as much as I don't think I'm a good actor. Yeah, and I know exactly what you mean. It is my Living Dex video, the only video I've had to go viral. Honestly, I'm just happy, which annoyingly is a slightly higher bar than I'd like it to be. But if a video gets over 1,000 views, I'm happy with it. Annoying. It's where, obviously, it's my most viewed thing. It's where most people found me. It's where the bulk of my subscribers have come from as well. Which I think the only... yeah. Wait! That, well, I got a shiny. I didn't even see that. I also had to go to this game. That. Okay. I have a decision to make. Do I want to start another catch combo? Yeah, you just said a shiny. Do I want to start another catch combo and spend like half an hour restarting Squirtle? Or do I end up catching this? Okay, we got one for Squirtle. Ray, what do you reckon? We're still going to count it as you've won that. I'm 50-50 because I don't have any of this line. Okay. We're just gonna... Yeah. Oh, wait, no. I was going to say we're just going to enjoy it on the screen. If it ran, it would have ended my combo. So I actually have to run. Which is kind of painful. It's a fact that, like, because it was green, I didn't even notice it in the grass. I just ran straight into it. Well, I've got a title and thumbnail for the VOD at least. I was forced to fail a shiny Pokemon. In the next 30, yeah, to be fair, in the next 30 will be right before the 2 hours I usually go for. Yeah. Hopefully we got Mystic Pass. Oh, Mystic Pascal's such a good name. Hopefully we got Mystic Pascal to call in the next 30 minutes. Oh, I can't. I'm kind of happy I did it. Like I showed earlier, I had to fail a Golbat. Even though I already had the Golbat line, so it really wasn't as painful. It is a nice name. Broken works as well. Broken or Mystic, or just have both. Just squat the name. Yeah, you won't be the first person to have renamed yourself in the chat. You broke Mystic Path. To be fair, that would be the most realistic name. Am I almost out of coffee, actually? No. It was actually... So, if you... And I know a lot of this is just being like, oh, the Indigo Disc video. Oh yeah, you still gotta farm the points. We've had no use of points this stream, I've realised. But I'm not complaining. Mysterious. Yeah, that fully go for that. Yeah. Oh, that was it. Oh, I just saw that go through. 10 points used very well. Wait for it. It's coming. Oh yeah, it should be in about half an hour-ish. It's being super delayed. Which hopefully it won't be once I get my new computer set up. Where is it? I've got my alerts on. Has it just scammed you out of 10 points? Okay, it's just gonna jump scare me at some point. Night, sweet dreams, happy point collecting. Yeah. So, if you watch through my Indigo Disc video, you'll notice, like 2, maybe 3 variations of Stitch's names. I think I actually... Could I? I think that's actually one that I can't refund. Yeah, you get off, get some sleep, sleep well, and I'll catch you Thursday, hopefully. Yeah, watch through the Indigo Disc video and pay particular attention to the chat and different variations of Stitch. It's actually kind of funny because I didn't realize in that space of like, I think it was 4 or 5 days was when he changed his name. Which I also didn't realize how much I streamed. Because I was going back to the VODs and I was like, these are 5-6 hour VODs, and it was maybe 4 or 5 days of me streaming it. A lot of it was PP grinding, so I got to kind of skip a lot of it. Which has been like a massive change when I've been going through the epilogue stuff. Oh yeah, it's 5 for use. Although Stitch did feel bad for me, and somebody go, he did feel bad for me and kept telling me to get off, and I was like, no, I'm too stubborn for this, because that is me through and through. Like I say, I have that mindset of I need to get stuff done. I'm getting stuff done. It's happening, whether it's good for me or not. To the point where it would get to like, what time was it? Like 5 in the morning, and I'd have maybe an hour of sleep before work. Sometimes no sleep before work. I think I remember it was the first day of the Indigo Disc, and I had no sleep before work, and I could feel like my body just wasn't used to it. Driving there, like I had my coffee to try and wake myself up, and I just about did the job. But I also knew there was at some point where I had to land at work before I got too tired. Otherwise, I would just be doing like the noddy dog while I was driving, and that obviously just not safe. So I had some time before anyone was there to actually open up my office. So that day, I just survived on pretty much protein energy bars and a 4-pack of Monster. And somehow made it home. Had 2 hours of sleep. And jumped back on stream for another 5-6 hours to finish the story. Because like I say, it's just me through and through. If I'm doing something, I'm finishing it. And I set my goal was like, the first night, my plan was finish as much of the story as I feasibly can. Hopefully I can finish all of it, but I got to a point where I was like, oh, no, I could have finished the story, if I'm being honest, if it wasn't for the fact that I was missing Pokemon from my team because I couldn't transfer them in. So that's actually what stopped me. Which is also why I only got like an hour or so, like an hour, 2 hours, I can't actually remember. I passed out at some point after I had food, after work. Because I hunted them in between. Like, I hunted temporary members for my team. Otherwise, I would have had maybe like 4 hours and caught up. But the second day of no sleeping pretty much almost killed me. And I'm surprised I was never late for work. And, like, it actually took right up until editing the video for me to maybe be late for work due to lack of sleep. Which is surprising. Because that was... It maybe even took like a week of super late nights for that to happen as well. Which I shouldn't be proud of. And I should be healthy and get a decent amount of sleep. But I've got to give it to myself that it took that long before it had any like major consequences. I just so happened to get lucky in there was a project going on at work that I could make a feasible excuse as to why I wasn't in work on time. Because essentially, like, I didn't even fall asleep in my bed at that point. I was editing the video on the couch in the living room and just kind of passed out there and then. Woke up to someone ringing me going, "Where are you?" I was like, "Oh God, it's 10 o'clock. Yeah, I was just letting this..." Because it was a 3D render. So I was like, I had to do some troubleshooting this morning when I woke up to check the render. Didn't realise the time. I was super focused in. Sorry, I'll be in at like 10:30 after this scene renders. And then also like half an hour travel, whatever, into work. That was an odd time to throw because that was ready to run. Yeah, it was one of those like... Sorry, I was distracted by the animation. Because I was woken up in such like a panic state, there's just like adrenaline going through my system, I can only assume. And I was on the ball of like, make up an excuse and make it believable. Because it's not the best quality I have, but I can think fast on my feet in situations like that. Like, full on panic, I can make up believable excuses. Which again, not proud of, but sometimes it's handy. Because I didn't get bollocked when I went into work, like, "You're late," sort of thing. Like, "Why were you late? Why didn't you..." I got the whole, "Why didn't you let us know?" I was like, "I should have. Sorry, I was an idiot." And I think... I mean, I've definitely got like 10k, 50... You got like 10k PaneyeRewind, and I've definitely got a ton of candy. So, wait, I'll show you after this. That is not a decent catch. Essentially, the cash for this just comes from catching. It's a self-fulfilling loop. So the more you catch, the more candies you're likely to get. So you notice just for this one catch, 46 candies, 46 tough candy, 22 large tough candy, and 12 XL tough candy. The more you catch, the more candy you get. So as long as you keep the combo up, you just end up with maximum candy. And then all you gotta do, like I keep doing, I think you just gotta get the combo higher and higher. Otherwise you don't really get it. So it's actually a good time for me to go stock up now. You end up with like 15k each time. It's annoyingly because they max out. You end up getting that much that it's not actually worth going to the Pokemon every time you max out the candies. But it's also handy for the lures as well. Although I'm being like really efficient with the lures, like I'm not actually using that many. But you'll also get, so yeah, 999 tough. I'm surprised they haven't maxed out the tough candies. The XLs, I should say. Only at 357. But then also you end up with the species specific, so Squirtle candy. So 4 types of candy. I've got 25k. And then that just leaves me to grab more great balls, I guess, because I've already got a load of lures. And just self-fulfilling loop, you just do this every now and again. And you can just essentially keep doing it forever. It's kind of why I like doing hunts in Let's Go. Because it's not a great game, but the hunts, they're just nice and chill. The only annoying thing with the hunts in Let's Go is the fact that the catch combo ends if you close the game. So I only ever do hunts in Let's Go on my second Switch that I'm lucky that I've got. So I can still play Scarlet and any other game on my main Switch. And I'll just never close this until I'm done with the hunt, and let's go. Which still one of the better decisions I think I've ever made was getting a second Switch. One, because I only had the original first gen Switch with a terrible battery. Needed constantly charging, especially when I go on holiday and whatever. So I bought myself an OLED Switch. So it had not only the better screen, but a bigger battery. And I just designated this as my grinding Switch. And it also helps when you're trading with yourself. So I think, yeah, for some of the Scarlet Violet decks and actually my Shiny team, I just traded with myself to get the evolutions. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it was I only realized how fast it ran out when my brother-in-law got an OLED Switch, and we were both playing it while we were on holiday, like on the plane. And I just had to keep borrowing his battery pack after I'd already drained my battery pack. And that's when I was like, this is actually kind of ridiculous. If I want... So, my OLED is now my travel Switch. Although, now I realized, kind of luckily, the Switch case I got obviously fits both Switches individually, but just about fits actually both Switches in with all my games. So I can travel around with both my Switches at the same time, luckily. And I only realized this after I've had the Switch pretty much since, I want to say, like a year or maybe just under a year after release. And that, I think, not that exact case actually, I picked up another case a year after. But I've had that case for a while, and I just happened to notice, oh, it can fit 2 Switches in. That's really convenient. I've actually got 2 Switches. I know, I don't think you were here for it, but now I've kind of condensed everything down to where I now have a mini recording setup as well wherever I go. So I can constantly be making, or like at least getting content for videos wherever I am if I need to. Because of that, I want to say it was the end of my Living Dex when I think I was doing the Dunsparce and Tandemaus. I was conscious that I was only ever taking like screen recordings from a Switch that were like in handheld mode at 720p. So ever since then, oh, I mean, I'll happily take those, all the views and engagement. But it's super appreciated, thanks. It's nice to hear it considering the amount of effort I put in. But yeah, when I was doing them, it made me think I need to get a super small, compact recording setup. Oh, it was that and the Teal Mask video, actually, now thinking about it. Because I wasn't playing my main save because I couldn't record it in full quality. So just kind of played a Violet save to get the version exclusives. And that was... So essentially I took a break from streaming Teal Mask, the Teal Mask DLC, because I went down for a friend's wedding. And it's like, well, I'm not going to have an internet connection or like my whole recording setup, like my whole... No worries. I'm just going to keep chatting crap anyway. Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to have my whole like dual monitor PC speakers set up to record it all. So what could I do in the meantime? I was like, well, I'm not going to show in the video me replaying the whole DLC. I'm just going to play through it and complete the decks. Oh, that was pretty... Oh, yeah, just restart Twitch. I thought you meant restart your whole computer. Yeah. I was like, knowing how I'm going to make the video, I'm not going to show a whole playthrough from Violet. So I can play that without recording it. And thankfully didn't find a ton of shiny. Actually, I don't think I found any shinies during it. So weirdly, I had bad luck, but it was also good luck because I didn't need to take anything from those recordings. But definitely it was that moment of being like, feeling hampered that I couldn't record it full quality made me go, I need to actually get a tiny recording setup. Which now, as long as I know I'm going to be somewhere with a half decent internet connection, I might even be able to stream bits. Because I've actually, like, this mic wouldn't come with me. But from years and years ago, I've actually got a USB 80 2020 that I just realized I could take with me. So if I'm going to be somewhere that I know has a half decent internet connection, I never have to miss a stream. Which is even worse, the fact that most of the time I'm just in my house. Not really got any excuse to not stream. But I still miss streams. But I'm giving myself less reasons not to. Or less reasons to miss streams, I should say. Which is the goal. Consistency. Schedules. This year is going to be the year of me hitting schedules. I think I hit I think I want to say like 6 months ago. However long Ray's actually been subscribed for. Because it's been Ray and Stitch who've been subscribed since I was first affiliated. Or since I first hit affiliate. I mean, still can. I think I've still got slots for founders. Because I think it gives you 10 slots for founders. It's not actually time-based. If I've got that right. Not that I'm saying like, oh, subscribe to me now. Like, just, you can enjoy watching without subscribing. That's fine. You just get some extra emotes at this point. Yeah, how's it going, Phoenix? You're catching like the last 15 minutes of a stream, but hopefully you bring the shiny luck. How's everything going? Yeah, think of it. So, subscribing is literally just the emotes. Eventually, I want to do it to where... So, I mentioned the Minecraft server earlier. I want to do it so if you're subscribed, you can jump into the Discord. Discord will recognize if you've got it linked to Twitch that you subscribed and you get access to the server. That's like one of the bonuses. Hey, just got back from college, so you will be behind. Somewhere in America, somewhere west coast of America. I'm gonna guess. If it's that much of a time difference. Yeah, it must be. It's like -6 or something. You don't have to say where. You could just say generally like that half of America I'm right. East? Oh, okay. I've got my time. Oh no, because west is... I think that goes to like -9 at the furthest. Oh. Nice. Just because of like how you join the server, like I saw you in the YouTube commenting, I just never actually learned. Wait. Oh yeah, I should hydrate. I've still got the last dregs of my coffee before I'm actually onto water. Right now it is 10:20. I'm trying to think. Are we still in? No, I was going to say, are we still in BST? No, definitely not in BST. It's just normal GMT. East Coast boy. Yeah, it's why I start the streams the time I do, so I can roughly get off at like 10:30 and have time to maybe do little bits before I get to bed. And try and keep myself in a decent sleeping pattern. Because if you pop in enough, you will notice I have terrible habits when it comes to sleep. I actually realized, again, might be oversharing a little. I actually have kind of sleep anxiety because I sleep too well. Which is gonna sound stupid. But because I can be such a heavy sleeper, if I get in a deep enough sleep, I will sleep through all 12 of the alarms that I set for myself. So I actually only regularly, every night, get maybe 4-5 hours of sleep at most, properly. Just so I don't go into like a super deep sleep and miss my alarms. It is also why I kind of like... Oh, so that just made me realize. So, if you don't know, former Shiny Living Dex. Because I hate myself, if we're gonna bring up ye olde catchphrase that I apparently have. From a Shiny Living Dex, I'm trying to do them so the Pokemon's origin is in the correct region for where they originally appeared. So, for Squirtle, it's Kanto. So my options for that would be either the Virtual Console games, Fire Red, Leaf Green, or Let's Go. Are there any other Kanto releases? I don't think so. But the easiest for me to stream is Let's Go. Also the easiest to hunt because the others are all like full odds. Virtual Console, I'd have to like RNG abuse and hope to get the right odds. Or the right stats. And then transfer them up to Gen 1, 2. I should have. Which, if I could record it, I probably would have. Or like if I could stream it. But I don't have a DS with a capture card. But at some point this year, I want to get one. So I can just... I've got more options of games that I can hunt in, sort of thing. But for now, all the Kanto Pokemon are going to be pretty much Let's Go. Which I can go through and actually, before I end off stream, catch you up on where my Shiny Dex is up to. Yeah, just... So, let's also say, like, I wanted Wooloo. It'd obviously be caught in Gala, whatever game that's in. There's a weird one with Gen 4 because I've pretty much decided they're all going to be like when they were first introduced real world. Sorry, I need a drink, one sec. When they were introduced like real world wise, like timeline. So anyone in Gen 4 would have to be from Sinnoh. And the Hisuian forms would have to be from Hisui. Unless they can be from the original game. So if I could hunt a Pokemon in Gen 2. For instance, if I could get like Teddy Ursa into Ursaring. And then evolve that Ursaring into Ursaluna. And have an Ursaluna from Johto, it would have to be that way. Which is why I've actually got a Mankey that I caught in these games. Evolved it into Primeape and then Annihilate, but its origin is from Kanto. One, because I just think that's a bit more interesting. But two, it just kind of works for the line. Like, unless you just can't catch them in a different game. It is. It's one of those, like, the nice thing is if you take it slow, it's not super confusing. So if I just decide, like, I'm going to go for this line, where do I have to hunt them all in, sort of thing. It only really kind of gets confusing for certain ones. Like, I have 2 Chansey from Kanto. But you can't get a Happiny in a Kanto game. So I have to get that from like BDSP. Or I could get that from Gen 4 and transfer it up. But I wouldn't be able to do that on stream or record it, so I'd probably do it in BDSP unless I got a DS capture card. That's been one of the more confusing ones. Because it's a start of a line, but then the rest of the line starts in Kanto because it's the earliest appearance. But like I say, if you do it one at a time, not super confusing. It's the confusing bit is trying to actually describe it in a YouTube short. Which I'm hoping as I make more of them, because I've got a load more like YouTube shorts to do for my Shiny Living Dex. Yeah, it's a lot of steps, but it's like you're saying, like, I should have done the virtual games for a challenge. I do the origins for that extra little bit of a challenge. And it forces me to play in different games to hunt different shinies. And if I get bored of doing... yeah, if I get bored of doing Let's Go, I can jump into... I can just decide I'm going to do a Gen 4 Pokemon, do like BDSP, or go for a Hisuian form and hunt it in Arceus. Yeah, so it's because Twitch, I think even with affiliate, has like a 14-day period where they'll keep the VODs. I decided, thankfully, pretty much since day one, I decided to download all the VODs or all the streams I was doing, bar one, which is why the day number is also one less than the amount of videos on that channel. But yeah, Twitch only holds it for like 2 weeks, so I just upload them on there, so they're up there in perpetuity. Yeah, so this I was like, it's where I had to decide personally what one I consider coming first. Do I go series-wise in the canon and try and get as many Pokemon in Hisui as possible? Or do I consider it real world wise and go from Sinnoh? And I was like, just to make things a lot easier, because things get confusing with Hisui. Because you have Pokemon not only from Gen 4, but like Ghastly and Lickitung and the likes of them, where it can get even more confusing. So sorry, there we go. So it was easier for my little pea brain to go, anything Gen 4 is Sinnoh, unless it's a specific Hisuian form that you can't get from Sinnoh. Yeah, and the upside is my VOD channel isn't monetized, so you can watch it without ads, I think. Unless somehow the VOD channel suddenly takes off, but for the low effort of how that channel is, whew, not anytime soon. I still do find it funny. Oh yeah, I've got YouTube Premium too. But give it that. You actually, no, it's not monetized, so it won't actually get paid, because even though one of my channels is, it won't carry across. Honestly, I don't think I could go back to not having YouTube Premium. Like, I actually get so spoiled when I've got to look up stuff on my work laptop and I'm not logged into my Google account. And I'm like, oh, what are these YouTube ads? Why can't I see like my 1080p high bitrate videos? Like, just being able to straight jump into any video without ads is such a godsend. Especially because I watch a ton of stuff on my TV. Do you like Chromecast and that? See, I would. But it's the fact that I watch so much stuff through my TV. I can't get an ad block for my TV. So I was like, I'm just going to have to bite the bullet, because adverts got ridiculous at one point on my TV. To where it was maybe like 2-3 adverts before I could watch one video. And then it'd be an advert every like 4 or 5 minutes while I'm watching like a GDQ run that can be maybe like an hour, hour and a half long, 2 hours sometimes. I'm like, this is ridiculous, and I don't want to have to pay attention and have to click the skip button every time. So, yeah, that they kind of forced my hand into paying for YouTube Premium. But I wouldn't go back. Also, anytime I watch stuff from people that I like, they also get a bit more for me watching a video than just me watching like a skippable ad. Actually, I think... Let's... oh, that is Pokemon Home. I might be able to give you a little bit of a breakdown. So if I just take my latest video monetization-wise, it hasn't earned a ton, but I can give you an idea like splits. So 80% of the revenue from it is from watch page ads. So that's like your skippables, your mid. I don't put mid rolls on them, to be fair. It might be slightly higher, but I'd rather not have an advert in the middle of the freaking video. But then the other 20% is from YouTube Premium. Which it just surprised me when I actually noticed that. Hey, we're actually over 2 hours. Which means, oh, we also didn't find the shiny in the extra half hour. Technically, we found one shiny this stream. Just had to let it go. Ooh, what's this? Oh, sorry, that was just sorry, you broken jumping into the Discord. I was like, what are all these notifications? I think that is, yeah, 10:30. That is my 2 hours put in for the night. I'm actually gonna, because I finished, yeah, because I finished writing the script for my next video today, I'm going to be jumping off now. I can't really stay on for longer because I'm going to try and get the voiceover recorded so I can start editing that as soon as possible. But cheers for jumping in. It's nice to see us back because I haven't seen this for a while. And Phoenix, it's nice to see you settling in. Like, it's nice to be fair, it's nice to see everyone not being super weird, like I was saying before. But yeah, I will catch us all probably on not Sunday. This was my Sunday stream. I'll catch us on Thursday, probably still doing this, and hope you have a good week. I will catch you soon.